Hi, this is my Aunt Effie, and today I am going to be reviewing a graphic novel. Now, I've never reviewed a graphic novel before, but I do think it's kind of a cool thing to go ahead and take a novel and put it together in a way that allows people to read it more easily and possibly with more entertainment. Most people are visuals, right? So this graphic novel is called Dracula. It was the original novel of Dracula was written by Bram Stoker, but this graphic novel was published in 2012. Now, I want to show you the credits, the publication date, and then the beautiful artwork in the area where they do the contents or the chapters. It is just beautiful. It's a delight to touch. It's a delight to view. This whole thing is just really lovely. So the story of my first edition, story time with Aunt Effie. When I was young in the 70s, I was in a secondhand store. And I was looking around through the books, and I was in a store that had been turned into a secondhand store but had originally been a huge barn. So I'm going up the stairs, and the right-hand side of the stairs is all lined in books. So I'm looking at the books. As time goes by, I'm sitting on the stairs, facing downwards, looking at books, and I glance to my left, and there it says Dracula. I couldn't believe it. So it says inside the cover, first edition. So I always thought that I had the first edition of Dracula. But I'll tell you, as I was preparing for this video, I did a little research, and I'm not so sure anymore, because what happened was the original name of the book was The Dead Undead. And then right before they published it, Bram Stoker changed the name to Dracula. Or maybe the publishers changed it, but somebody changed the name to Dracula. And so it was so close to being published that they weren't able to put any energy or work or effort into the cover, and it came out with this very unpleasant, dull yellow cover with red ink that said Dracula. So in the time period, it was considered not a very attractive cover. So I just cannot remember actually seeing yellow with red ink. Now, it would have to be really, really old. That original Dracula yellow cover, red ink, was published in 1897. So I would have found the book when it was already about 80 years old. So that seems pretty old for a book. I don't know. Are there any bibliophiles that happen to stumble over this that could tell me? Could you find a book that old in a secondhand store that you could still open up and read all the pages and they would stay in place? I don't know. What do you think? So I assume that everybody here knows the story, the basic story of Dracula. So I'm just going to say that I thought they did a really great job of adapting the story to graphic novel, and the illustrations are so good. I marked a couple of pages that I wanted to show you for the illustrations. Look at that. you're seeing Dracula and some of the other, Jonathan Harker. Look at that beautiful, scary hand on Dracula. Oh, it was just a wonderful, wonderful job to set the mood and create the fear. Here's another one that I thought really beautifully illustrated what a great job they did with drawing. And also whoever did the color on this did a wonderful, wonderful job. So I just had a great time reading it, and I enjoyed it immensely. I totally got into the story, even though I know it really well. My mother and I enjoyed the story of Dracula by watching old Dracula movies together. And we did a lot of it, and we had such a wonderful time. So I couldn't wait to get back into my chair and get this book into my lap, because it felt like just a great place to be, and I always wanted to get back to it. So I totally recommend this graphic version of Dracula. Oh, I wanted to tell you that the illustrators were, let's see, maybe I've got it here. I want to give some credit to the illustrators. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not seeing an opportunity to tell you who did the illustrations on this. Darn it. Sorry about that. It was printed in the USA. So I totally recommend Dracula or this form of Dracula to Dracula lovers and to graphic novel lovers and to anyone who doesn't know the story of Dracula. The original book of Dracula is a little bit hard to read, so this is easy. So I guess I'm going to close this up by telling you that it was awesome. And this is my Aunt Effie wishing you happiness and goodbye and good reading.